You know what? Screw it. Let's explore Scooby Doo a little bit more. Fans, including me, have been up in arms ever since the announcement of Velma and the fact that it feels like another show wearing the hollowed out carcass of Mystery Inc. I even did a whole video about it. Now I could just move on to other topics, but I want to stick with Scooby Doo for a bit, explore the franchise more. So here's what we're gonna do. Wikipedia lists about 44 animated Scooby Doo movies between television, direct-to-video, and the one theatrical release, Scoob. And we're gonna go through all of them so we can see exactly how Scooby Doo is done. You're probably wondering why not the shows, and I'll tell you. The movies just seem like a more interesting idea to me. The plots are more varied, there's a lot of crazy guest stars ranging from Kiss to Bobby Flay to John Cena, even Courage and Elvira, Mistress of Darkness. And more often than not, the monsters in the movie are real, which can have varying degrees of spookiness. Finally, while most of these movies feature all of the Mystery Gang, a small handful of them either leave Fred, Daphne, and Velma off to the wayside in order to focus on Shag and Scoob, or they just feature Shag and Scoob exclusively, along with Scrappy. Okay, let's just get this out of the way so we don't have to talk about that little turd for long. We're going to begin with the first animated film made for TV, released in 1987, Scooby Doo Meets the Boo Brothers. So the plot is Shaggy receives an inheritance from his uncle, and he, Scooby, and Scrappy drive into the country to claim it, dealing with a nasty sheriff, a mean local hillbilly and his smitten for Shaggy's sister, ghosts aplenty, this Igor-looking dude, a runaway circus ape, and the titular Boo Brothers. Sure is a lot for your first movie, isn't it? This is also one of the Hanna-Barbera Superstar 10, which was a selection of movies made out of Hanna-Barbera's best properties, such as the Flintstones, the Jetsons, and Yogi Bear. This is the first of 3 in this set to be a Scooby-Doo movie, with the others being Ghoul School and Reluctant Werewolf. This is also during that weird period of time where Shaggy changed into a red shirt and jeans. I don't know why, he just did. There's no real solid explanation for this. First off, this is classic Scooby-Doo. Solving mysteries, running from monsters, all that good stuff. The animation as well can get pretty good for the 80s. Like this part right here with the Boo Brothers chasing the demonstration ghosts. There's definitely parts that feel really standard for television animation, but once in a while the animation takes a decent bump. This also has a pretty good mystery revolving around the Beauregard family jewels, even if the mystery doesn't really kick into gear until around half an hour in. Scrappy also isn't as annoying as his reputation makes him out to be here. He's not recklessly brave, he actually reacts to certain situations with seriousness. Not to mention he's actually integral to the plot since he solves quite a few clues. Also, there's this real quick line about how Scrappy became good at solving mysteries from Scoob. I don't know why, I found that sweet. You also have some pretty decent monster designs too. I like the Skull Ghost design, and the Boo Brothers have an alright look. The comedy can be hit or miss, to be absolutely honest. Once in a while you'll get a decent slapstick gag, but a bunch of the comedy is just one big eh. And the big problem comes from the Boo Brothers themselves. They're especially hit or miss. For something the movie is named after, they don't really contribute to the plot that much. They're there for a few moments to help the gang out, but they hardly do anything actually related to their job of ghost hunting. It's kinda telling when the characters you name your movie after don't really do anything to contribute to the movie. Which is funny because the entire weird-ass opening sequence gasses up the Boo Brothers as the scariest thing out there, with a whole song sung by a witch that never appears again. So you'd think they'd be more important, but they really aren't. Not only that, there just seems to be too much going on at once with this movie. Like, Farquaad the butler is fine, the sheriff is understandable, but did we really need countryside hillbillies who hated Shaggy's family, with one of them having a big crush on Shaggy? Or did we really need an escaped circus ape on the loose? It feels like there's too many people not involved with the mystery, so the story feels like it has to stop every once in a while in order to tell a few jokes with these characters before we get back to the mystery. Also, the reveal at the end that all of the ghosts were one person felt forced. Like, you can kind of glean it due to the fact that the voice actors' different voices start to meld together at times, but I think it would have been better if there was at least more than one culprit. All in all, this movie was alright. For the first full Scooby Doo animated movie, it could have been a whole lot worse. The rest of the gang is definitely missed here, even if the mystery is pretty solid. The animation can be great at times, and when it wants to be, it can be pretty funny. The problem lies in the fact that it really does feel like too much is happening at once, and the titular Boo Brothers really don't do much in the movie that's quite literally named after them. For a first shake, pretty serviceable. Middle of the road movie, 5 out of 10. I hope you enjoy this and you'll join me on the road for the rest of the movies, especially since the next one is where things start to pick up. My name is Crit, and join me on a trip with Scooby Doo to Ghoul School.